your day today, as well as, how was your day over the course of yesterday, since we didn't have a session yesterday?
Yesterday I didn't trade at all. I didn't look at the charts.
Okay.
But in the morning I took a short during the London session because it's like I kind of could see where price was going,
Yes.
and yeah, I just took it to where London created that low and I closed. And I think it was like a matter of 30 pips. Yeah. So like no real proper analysis I did, but like yeah.
That was me today.
Yeah, and then today, like I told you during lunchtime, sorry, during market open also didn't do any proper analysis, but because we had that one area marked off and I knew we were there, I also just took that trade and yeah, just targeted the sell side there, that what 18,597 something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, that equal lows. Yeah,
That was nice and clean. That was nice.
yeah, yeah.
And then also when it comes down to, you say that you didn't do proper analysis, but obviously did you find yourself doing some backtesting afterwards?
Yeah, I did go and see that besides that tap into that fair value gap that we had marked up, there was actually a 5-minute breaker there that price tapped into and gave us the opportunity after that. That was like around, I think, 15,692, 694, somewhere there.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
And your understanding with price, how was that, would you say?
I'd say better than I was at the beginning of the week.
Okay. So there's progress.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all we want. Okay, that's all we want.
So like today, even though I told you I had that dirty trade, but I was like, okay, no, there is liquidity there, so let me hold and just take that minimum, even.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nah, I'm happy. I'm happy if, you know what, I'm not happy with the fact that, you know what, well, I can't say that, but, at the same time, I can say it. The fact that,
No, I'll agree with you also, because it's like I'm also not comfortable with like, not having to sit down and look at the charts and do a proper breakdown.
yes.
This is like now just scanning on your phone and checking. Oh, okay, I know we bull. I know we bear. Let me check 5 minutes. Let me check 1 minute.
Yes.
And you're like not really able to see, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm also not happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, but
There's
but
more work to
actually,
be done.
there's always two sides of the coin, right? And
Yeah.
that part right there, that part that you just made mention, yes, cool, right? I'm not happy about that part right there. But,
Mm.
right, the same ideology that you have found yourself having throughout that period right there, right?
Mm.
That is actually how I want you to find yourself having that's how I want you to trade. I want you to
Okay.
just come and I want you to do your actual analysis and I want you to find yourself having that same mindset. Because with what you are now basically telling me, you are telling me that I took my phone, I opened up my phone, I saw that we are bearish in structure, I saw this and boom, I just went short and that's that. Right? So in my head, you are saying that you didn't hesitate. You saw this and you just took. Right?
Yeah, but like then now the other question I need to ask myself, D, is like, this wasn't with any proper analysis and there was no hesitation. Why with the proper breakdown and analysis, I'm confusing myself and hesitating so much?
Yes. Now that's the part where I'm going to.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to.
Okay. So help me out here now.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to. So with you basically having that actual mindset, right? That is the one thing that I'm trying to give you, right? That's what I've been trying to give you over the course of the past months since you have joined me, right? When I basically tell you that don't find yourself looking at the money side of things, right? Just look at the system, just look at what price is giving you and just react from that, right? Don't care about the actual outcome whatsoever, right? And maybe because you were finding yourself being busy, your brain was distracted. So you know what? There was no focus on that one specific thing for too long. So your brain was just like, you know what? take it. You know what? I am a little bit distracted whatsoever. So, you know, you don't really just think about your trading just like that, right? And when it comes down to you being in front of your chart, now you're doing a whole lot of thinking, right? I think that you are thinking way too much when you come to the charts, right?
Yeah,
If you are
yeah,
going to
yeah,
find yourself thinking way too much, that
yeah.
is
You're
when the
right. You
confusion
are right.
comes. That's where the
Yeah,
confusion comes through,
yeah.
right? So I don't want you to think, don't think about it too much. Like we are, as an actual trader, you are more of a how can I put it? You more of a graph person, right? You more of a picture person, right? You more of a you know what, if you are analyzer, right? You are an analyzer. So if I'm gonna put a cup right over there just like this, you are gonna look at the cup, right? And you are gonna analyze everything about the cup just because, right? Versus someone
Mm,
who needs to have those words. This is a cup, and on this cup stands A, B, C, D, and E, and because the person can't find himself comprehending like what's this, right? They need something to instruct them, to make them understand what is this. But you, on the other
mm,
hand, even if you don't know what this thing is, this cup is, you are still going to find yourself just coming and look at it, and you are going to be like, okay, cool, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing A, B, C, D, E. Whether you're right, whether you're wrong, does not matter, right? It does not matter. The only thing
mm,
that matters is that you actually had an idea and you found yourself throwing the idea out there, right?
mm,
That's you.
mm.
That's us. That's us as a trader, right? If you see a
Right.
picture, that's it, right? If you see the high being taken and the low being taken, you already have that actual ideology of, okay, cool, we bull, we pay. There's no
Mm,
other
mm.
thing that you need to find yourself thinking about. You don't need to think.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
just
yeah.
look and wait for that thing to come through. And once it comes
Mm,
through, you execute. You don't need to
mm,
think about nothing.
mm. Yeah, it's like, on some days I know where my entry is. It's like I've cross-checked it with something, whether it's a BOB or whether it's a firm, or my market structure is correct. I know where price needs to go to, where's an untested area on liquidity. And it's like I'm still hesitating. Like sometimes I ask myself, like, how many confluences do you want? Do you want like 10?
Mhm.
And then now it's like I'm thinking, okay, now I need to visit what Dee said about plan. So I need to say to myself, either I need to have three confluences or five confluences or between three and five confluences, and then bang, that's a trade I'm going to take.
Yeah. You don't is
Less than three confluences, no, I'm not taking it.
you don't
That's what I have to use now to make the decision. If I can't make that decision for myself and say that's what I saw, you know,
yeah, you don't
and I think because I come from a research background also, it's like I function as per what they call a standard operating procedure,
okay. And what's that?
so it's like basically like a trading plan. Like I'm saying, okay, I'm only going to enter off a breaker,
Mhm.
because I want to see that displacement. I want to see, price either push up before coming back, and then,
Mhm.
not I just want to enter there because, there's a magnet there or my fob is lining up there.
Yeah. Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm
Cool.
saying? So
Cool.
like a
Now.
SOP is going to define like, exactly what you're going to use as an entry. Okay, if one, two, or three is there, it's fine. Or if one and two is there, it's fine. But if only one is there, then no, I'm not. And
Okay.
you have to follow the SOP.
I hear you. I hear you.
Like how you gave us the rules as well for how to identify a bullish and a bearish breaker.
Yes, 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 yes.
That basically it's a set of rules that you need to follow.
Okay.
And before you do an analysis as well or an experiment or carry out a reaction, these are the steps that you need to follow to do it.
Cool. So what you are now basically telling me is that there was there's already a picture, right? The whole picture, the whole frame is already there, and
Yeah,
there's certain specific plans you just need to follow. in terms of that frame right there.
Yeah,
Right? That's
yeah,
what you are
yeah,
telling me. Now,
yeah.
my question to you now is going to be, before everything, right? Before that actual picture was there, right?
Mm,
Before
mm,
everything, before
mm,
you're gonna get that picture,
mm.
what do you think? What was the process to getting to that picture, to setting up that plan for you? If you're gonna think now from your previous work experience, uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's about what you need to achieve at the end of it, the end goal.
how do you get to that point? The end goal is now basically the picture, right? And with
Yeah,
having the end goal, now you basically
yeah.
have certain things you are going to follow, right? Now, what I'm asking is, if you know that you want a specific goal or something, how are you going to get there?
With a
What did you guys
plan,
find yourself doing?
we follow the SOP, which I'm telling you was a plan basically
Mm-hmm.
of how we need to do activities A to Z
Okay.
to achieve, you know,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. So what basically happened was
And
this.
also the resources that we need, like now for trading, okay, we need a phone. If you have a access to a laptop, okay, it's a bonus. You need your broker, you need your trading view, and just like other things, some of us function if we write things down in a book, and then besides a book, we need our journal. So like, even with those SOPs, okay, make sure you got your safety gloves on, make sure you got your goggles on, those
Yes,
kind of
yes,
things also.
yes. Now,
Yeah.
right, when you're gonna start off everything, you are gonna
Mhm.
find yourself having a what do you call it, hypothesis or
Hypothesis. Yeah.
hypothesis, right? You're gonna have a
Yeah.
hypothesis, right?
Yeah.
And your hypothesis is basically gonna, you're gonna ask a question to have an actual
Yeah.
outcome, right?
Yeah.
Is a this to give me, well, if I'm going to find myself doing A, will it basically give me B, right? So that is the whole thing to where you're gonna get to that point where you want to find yourself being, right? And then after that, with you having that, now you're gonna come to that which you just said, right? What will you need, right? So trading, the trading view maybe, and you meet your MetaTrader and whatsoever, whatnot, right? And
Mhm.
then this is the most important part, the body, right? The body. So the body of your experiment whatsoever will basically be the activities that you need to find yourself doing, right? And those activities that you are going to find yourself doing will basically link back to your hypothesis, right? Because you need to find yourself having a answer at the end of the day, right? Is this thing working? Yes or no? That's the whole thing, right? So your body of work, you are now going to find yourself going through all these activities. You are going to find yourself going to through the dirt to get that actual answer, right? And after you have found yourself going through the dirt, all the activities you needed to find yourself doing and able to get back to your hypothesis, right? Now, what are you going to find yourself having? Now you're going to have your conclusion, right? And your conclusion will now basically just be cool. What I have found myself doing is actually correct, right? When A is this, B is actually doing that, right? Now you have an answer. With you having an answer, now you have your picture, right? The picture that you just talked about. And with you having the actual picture, now you know that the body, you're going to summarize it and you're going to make it bullet points now, right? And those are the rules that you are going to find yourself following and able to keep this body of work as what it is whatsoever, right? Because you now have everything inside the actual experiment. Am I right? Am
Mhm.
I wrong?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Same thing
Mhm.
with trading, right? The exact same thing with trading. Everything that I just made mention is the same thing, right? You came to me, right? You came to me and Diego found himself giving you a course, right? He gave you a course, clean stuff, right? Now, the hypothesis inside everything will basically be, hey, whatever they have given me, is it working? Yes or no, right? And now you need to find yourself being the person making it work, right? So what you're going to find yourself doing now, you're going to go in your course, you're going to find yourself studying everything. You're going to go through the dirt. You're going to make sure that you understand what is A, B, C, D, E, and whatsoever, right? You're going to study it. And after a while, whatsoever, now you're going to find yourself, coming to the body of things, right? The body of things. This is when you now put everything into practice now, right? You're practicing everything because you have already learned everything that you had to find yourself learning, right? Cool. Practicing now. Practice, practice, practice. You identify your highs, you identify your lows, you identify A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatsoever, right? After you identify that, now you're going to have your conclusion, right? Conclusion, what's that going to be? Everything that D have found himself teaching, was it right? Was it wrong? Right? Now you're basically gonna find yourself answering that question right over there. Yes, what D have found himself teaching me is actually working. No, what D have found himself is not actually working for me. Right? Now, enable for me, right, to make it much easier for each and every single one of you. Now, what I'm finding myself doing is I'm going with you through the body, right? I'm going with you through the actual experience of showing you A, B, C, D, and E is actually coming to the actual charts and it is actually working, right? So I'm trying to make it easier and much faster for you to basically get the body, right? So that you can get to the conclusion. Conclusion is for you to basically just understand what you need to find yourself understanding, right? And everything that I found myself teaching is actually, it's there. You understand it, right? So that right there, after you having your conclusion now, right? Have your conclusion. Yes, no. Right? You're like, yes. The points, right? The body that we are finding ourselves doing, the summary now, right? The bullet points I found myself pointing out whatsoever. That right there is now your plan, right? So I'm giving you your plan as well. I'm making you see the actual plan. I'm making you see what price is actually doing, right? All you need to find yourself doing is just following the plan. Now, my question is, after you having everything, do you really need to find yourself overthinking everything? No.
You know what you are doing, Dee. Can I tell you what you are doing? You actually also giving me a life lesson, because that is something that I'm battling with also at this point on a personal level, besides the trading.
Okay. What and what's that? If you
So,
want to share it, cool, you
so
can share it. If not, it's perfectly fine.
no, in terms of overthinking as a general, you're actually giving me a life lesson now.
Clean. Clean. Right? You don't need to overthink things. Right? It's like I'm asked if I'm gonna ask you, Samina, do you think that the earth is round? Huh? Who cares? Who cares if the earth is round, if it is flat, if it's a circle, anything like that? We don't care. We're not going to see that. It doesn't matter. Right? On this earth, we are living on this earth. What we need to find ourselves doing is what we need to find ourselves doing. We just need to believe that there is an actual higher power. That higher power put us here for a reason. That's it. We don't need to worry about the shape of the earth. We don't have to worry about how much water is there. No, we here, we breathing, right? We still here. We don't need to care about all of those other things. We need to care about us, right? We need to make sure that we are actually providing something, delivering something whatsoever, right? And I can tell you, you don't need to find yourself overthinking everything, right? Please don't. But that example that I basically just gave you right now, I hope that it gives you a framework whatsoever of You don't need to complicate it. Right? You already have the answer just because I'm coming here each and every single day. Then keep in mind, Samina, like this day where you send me your analysis and you're like, D, I want to find myself seeing this, that, and then this, that happens. And then you didn't find yourself executing. So, what can I do about that? I can do nothing about it. You had the answer.
Okay, tell me, what do you think at that point? What are your thoughts at that point when you ask me and I tell you, no, I didn't take it?
What's my thoughts?
Yeah.
Why? That's it.
No, I just want to know what you think at that point.
That's literally what I think. Why didn't you?
Why? Okay.
You had the answer, but why didn't you find yourself?
Why didn't you? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe in, you know, if and I'm not too sure if you find yourself noticing that from me, right? I'm a type of individual that if you are going to tell me, D, I want to find myself doing A, right? I want to find myself doing this. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to tell you, go for it. Right? Go for it. And then after that, I'm going to look and see, did you actually go forward?
Yeah.
Have you actually done something about it? I'm going to follow up. Right?
Yes.
And if I see that you aren't doing, like, you completely doing nothing, you completely forgot about everything, you know, there's 0% interest in that thing that you said that you are gonna do. After that, I'm just gonna be like, you know what, I don't mess with you no more. Like, you are now just finding yourself, you know, you're just wasting time now, right? That's and with you, on the other hand, I can actually see that you are actually doing something, right? But I understand where you're coming from as well, because you are basically on that actual learning curve of, you know what, like me, right? I was at this actual stage where I find myself doing my analysis and everything, then everything would be there, and deliberately I wouldn't find myself
taking the opportunity.
No, I won't, because I was too scared, right?
Okay, so that's where I'm at as well. And you know, like we spoke about it the other day as well, and you asked me the question. Samina, tell me, if you had 10,000 Rand in your bank account because you know you were not stressing now for the next month how you were going to pay the bills, how would your mindset then be? And yes, it would be very different.
Yes, exactly. Right. So I was super stressed out. I was like, I'm not gonna take it. Till the point where it got to that point where, when I say deliberately, I'm literally saying that I just looked at it like that. Right? I wasn't like on my MetaTrader hesitating, you know, sweating to press that button or anything. Nah, it's just like, you know, I just want to watch it. Until I was like, nah, man, you know what? I'm missing. I'm missing. I'm wasting now.
Wasting time.
What am I doing? You know? And
yeah,
and then I had to find myself jumping into the charts and face my fears, face those demons. And after a while, you're like, Jesus, why was I afraid? You know, sometimes you're gonna realize that there's no need to be afraid.
Yeah.
No need. Literally, no need.
True. Very true.
So yeah, you know, like,
it's very true what you are saying.
This journey actually taught me a lot, Samina. A lot. Really a lot. A lot.